Hello, and welcome to the North Central Texas Council of Governments open house for the Dallas-Fort Worth High-Speed Transportation Connection Study. The study area is located between State Highway 121 and State Highway 183 to the north, I-35 East to the east, downtown Fort Worth to the west, and U.S. Highway 287 and State Highway 303 to the south. That's over 230 square miles. Our primary objectives of this study are to evaluate high-speed transportation options between downtown Dallas and downtown Fort Worth. This includes analyzing both alignment and transportation mode options to connect Dallas-Fort Worth to other proposed high-speed performance passenger systems in the state, such as the Texas-Oklahoma passenger rail study following the I-35 corridor and the Dallas to Houston high-speed rail project, and to enhance and connect the DFW regional transportation system. We are also seeking to obtain federal environmental approval of the viable alternative design and implement the project. The Texas Triangle megaregion is made up of several large metropolitan areas along the I-35, I-10, and I-45 corridors, including Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. With the state's 5 largest cities, this area is home to the majority of the state's population. High-speed transportation is optimal for connecting these adjacent metropolitan areas within the megaregion due to distance and travel time needed for commercial air travel. With all of the expected growth in the Dallas-Fort Worth region and within the Texas Triangle, faster and more abundant travel choices are needed. Additional travel choices will increase connectivity to, from, and within the North Texas region, and will lessen the demand on the region's roadways. This will also allow for more reliable travel times and better air quality. The Dallas-Fort Worth High-Speed Transportation Connection Study is divided into 2 phases. The first phase analyzed all reasonable alternatives for alignments and travel technologies. The second phase will include an engineering and environmental analysis as prescribed by the National Environmental Policy Act. This consists of conceptual and preliminary engineering tasks and public engagement events. As always, questions and comments are welcome throughout the entire project. In Phase 1, the project team used a 3-level screening process to narrow down the initial vast number of possible options to a select few. The process, depicted on this graphic, began with identifying all reasonable alternatives. Next, the first level of evaluation for the alternatives determined whether or not the alternative met the project purpose and need. Of the initial 43 alignments and 5 technologies evaluated in Level 1, 23 alignments and 4 technologies proceeded to the second level of evaluation. Level 2 screening evaluation focused on identifying any major flaws which may preclude the alternative from being built. Of these alternatives, 10 alignments and 3 technologies advanced to Level 3, which involves a more detailed evaluation of the alternatives. As we advance the project to Phase 2, we are evaluating 3 alignments and 2 technologies as we move forward with drafting an environmental document. Using previous transportation studies that examined corridors between Dallas and Fort Worth, the project team identified all reasonable alignments and corridors to analyze. In general, the project team identified alignments and corridors along existing transportation routes as much as possible to minimize the need to acquire additional property. Also, using existing transportation corridors minimizes impacts to homes and businesses. Each alignment and corridor option will connect the central station in downtown Fort Worth to the proposed high-speed rail station in downtown Dallas. In all, 43 distinct alignments and corridors were identified for study. The initial 43 distinct alignments and corridors evaluated in the first level of screening were grouped into 5 families of options. These 5 families shown on this map are generally identified as the Trinity Railway Express alignments in purple, the Trinity River alignments in gold, the I-30 alignments in dark blue, the State Highway 180 alignments, which are very near the existing Union Pacific Railroad alignment in red, and the State Highway 303 alignments in light blue. This map shows the final alignment options passing through Phase 1 that were analyzed throughout the three-level screening process, focusing on an I-30 alignment option. I will pause for you to view the map. Several high-speed transportation technologies and modes of travel were examined for their use to meet the region's travel needs. These included conventional passenger rail trains, higher speed trains, which are faster than conventional trains but slower than high-speed trains, high-speed rail trains, which are the passenger trains proposed for the Dallas to Houston system, magnetic levitation or maglev train technology, Hyperloop technology, which incorporates a passenger or cargo pod moving in a near vacuum tube, and other emerging high-speed transportation technologies. Throughout the Phase 1 screening process, we eliminated several modes in each level of screening. The final two recommended modes of transportation moving to Phase 2 are high-speed rail and Hyperloop. Our project team is wrapping up Phase 1 as we move forward with the recommendations approved by the Regional Transportation Council. We are hosting open houses in Fort Worth, Arlington, Grand Prairie, and Dallas before we initiate Phase 2. We anticipate Phase 2 to last approximately 2 years. During this process, we will draft an environmental document in accordance with NEPA, start preliminary engineering, draft financial and project management plans, and continue with public stakeholder and agency outreach. To stay connected to the Dallas-Fort Worth High-Speed Transportation Connection Study, please visit our project website at nctcog.org/DFW-HSTCS to learn more about the study and stay updated on upcoming public meeting dates. You can also submit comments on our website using our interactive online public comment form. Our project team also offers additional opportunities to learn more about the study. We are available to provide study information at special events or to groups seeking additional information. Please contact Rebecca Gongora using the contact information provided here. Contact information for the Dallas-Fort Worth High-Speed Transportation Connection Study staff are shown here. Staff are also available on site to answer your questions. We'd like to thank you for your time and interest. Please provide your comments and opinions through the options provided on the screen. Your input is welcomed and very valuable to the project's success. Thank you.